before I started anything. And I remember wanting Van Halen 1. I wanted Van Halen 1. I remember going and bugging my mom. Mom, I want that record. And she says, Mijo, the first thing is running with the devil. The first sentence, right? Running with the devil. And I'm like, what do you mean, Mom? Like running with the devil? She's like, yeah, why would you want to run with the devil? I'm a Christian. I'm like, nah, Mom, it's not about that. This is the album, like this is the one, like this is what's happening right now. It was 1979, and she bought me a stereo console, little small one, and that album. I remember on Christmas I got that album, and I remember playing it over and over and over and over. She would be like, oh, I'm so sorry I bought that record player, man. And she's like, something's up with this kid because he's really into music. He's always, what's the deal? And at that time 1980 was rolling in, 81, and a lot of the breakdance music was just starting out. Like you had Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight, and Rick James was just starting to pop off some of his big ones, Super Freak and Double Dutch Bus, and the little hip hop influences started. I remember wanting Genius of Love, Tom Tom Club, like running to the store to try and buy that record, and it always be like, what are you talking about? We don't have that song. And I think I was giving the wrong title. A lot of times you give the wrong titles of things you think I didn't know the artist name. I go, it's the video, with the little, I told him, explain it, I think at the time it was like MTV, or it was like ZTV or some shit. It was like, you saw the video, and running to the record store at the mall and being like, hey man, I wanna get this song. This is how it goes, he was my boyfriend, my lucky boyfriend. And they're like, what are you talking about? That I don't know any song like that. And it was Genius of Love. I didn't know the title, till years later. And it was like, wow, man, like all the time I was looking for, he's my boyfriend, my lucky boyfriend. Like, nah, man, this ain't the title, man. Come back, kid, when you know the title,
Ready, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So I saw these turntables. My cousin, his name was Greg Noriega. He had bought 2 brand new Technic 1200s and a Newmark mixer. They might have even been Newmark. It might have been like, I think it was Realistic. At that time, there was, I'm sure they had Newmark. I don't think he had the feria for that. He just bought a Realistic. And I remember seeing those little needles popping, and he was spinning two copies of one title, same on both sides, one on each side. I was no more than 12 years old, bro. And I remember seeing that and feeling the music and being like, wow, man, like this is different. This is more, this is unique. This is like, I feel something else is attacking me, and I don't know what it is. And it's just, I go to sleep at night thinking about it. I wake up like, man, I gotta get turntables, and go to sleep and then I just dreaming about it, man. Like, he's like, I gotta get this, and you're 12, 13 years old. You're not gonna get, back then it was like $250, $300 turntable. I mean, that's like, my mom's house payment was $120, bro. How's $300 gonna happen for one? Now I don't need just one, I need 2. Then I gotta go find the mixer. Like, this just wasn't gonna happen. This is gonna be like 10 Christmases in 1 year. Like, that's no way, man. I had Danny up there in my crib. He was looking at the turntables. I remember playing the music for him. And I can remember like looking back and saying, man, if I'm gonna take this shit serious, I gotta stress it to my dad. It was mainly my dad, because he had the good job. He was the mechanic, and I gotta stress it to my dad how much I'm into this, And it pretty much led me to where I knew if I got some serious equipment, that maybe I could do a party or take my stuff somewhere and people would take me serious. Like, I think I'm 13, 14 years old. Like, I need to find out how I could do this. So I remember telling my dad, like, hey man, and him just being like, I don't know, like that's a lot of money, are you crazy? $300 or $250, whatever. I think back then they were like, God, I want to say they were close to $300, and that was just a lot of money. And I remember one Christmas morning, man, and just coming out there and just like seeing the turntable box. It was just the box, the gray, I'm sorry, it's like a paper bag brown box. And looking at it going like, it says Technics. And I was just, dude, my heart started beating and I was like, what the fuck? And just rushing up to it and looking at it like, oh man, like, are they just tripping me? Am I gonna open this box? It's gonna be like some fucking bananas and shit inside or some oranges, like, parents, like, but I knew, it was sealed, man. And it was just like opening that up. It was like, and the smell, that new plastic, resonated in your nose. Like, wow, it's a brand new turntable. Like, this is it. This is how I start out. And it just led to that. It led to where I made up my mind I was going to save every quarter, nickel, dime, or whatever it took to buy the other turntable. And I think I ended up going to Radio Shack and getting that same little realistic turntable. I don't know if it was gift money or how I got it, but I remember working to get those things and figuring it out. And I remember my parents being like, now you have all this expensive stuff. Like, how are you going to keep it good? And I remember hitting my dad up and saying, hey, man, they have these J&L cases. And they're really fucking expensive, dude. They were like another $150 or something like that back then. And they made them in Burbank. And I remember, him and me making some kind of deal or I'd save up money. Like, it took literally, dude, like at least 2 solid years. So I really didn't get my first DJ gig or able to take those things somewhere until, God, man, I want to say I was like 14 and a half or something, like almost 15 years old, to where I could actually, like, you know what, man, all right. And I remember my mom, one of the girls that did her nails, was like, oh yeah, she's like, my son's a DJ. Like, and she's like, oh yeah, we're having a wedding, can your son DJ? And I remember, dude, like, her coming to the pad, like, hey, I got you a gig DJing a wedding. And I'm like, what? Like, thinking in my mind, how am I gonna DJ a wedding, bro? Like, all this music that I have is like, like electro, back then we didn't call it electro, it was like funk, disco, and new wave, that's all that was being played, the K-Rock stuff, the K-Day music, whatever was on Kiss FM, So I'm like, how am I going to do this wedding, And I started game planning it, man. And I went to a few record stores. I bought the anniversary song. I bought the wedding march song on little 45s. And I remember her driving me up there. I think it was like a station wagon or someone's car we borrowed. And going up there to the lady's house. She lived in Glendale. She was a Filipino lady. And I already clicked really good with Filipino people at the time. I had like 3 best friends that were Filipino. And I lived next door to some Filipino, really cool people. And then we get over there, and they're like, "Oh, hi, Michael, I heard so much about you," And I'm like, "All right, cool." We set up the stuff, and I had borrowed speakers from a homie and an amp. I didn't have that stuff yet. And him being like, "Hey, man, $100, I better get it tomorrow." And it was a lot of money, like, to come up with. And I didn't know what I was gonna make on the gig. I figured I was making at least 100, so I could just pay the dude, and I just wanted the gig, And the lady wrote me a check for $900, bro. The end of the night, the gig went smooth. Everyone danced. They loved the music. I got pictures, brother. I got pictures of me holding my little brother in my hand. This was a groundbreaker for me because I was getting paid $900 for something that I loved, like I'm like, I didn't even want the money. I felt like just giving her the check back. My mom's like, no, get the check. She was a millionaire, like she was really rich, and she was just like kicking me like if it was like, I mean, most weddings now, what would it cost you for a DJ? Probably $1,500, $1,000, $2,000, whatever it would be. She was just paying me like a few $100s plus, extra money to say like, I'm rich, I can just write this check, and there you go, kid, keep it up. So it was almost like incentive for me to know, this is what you belong doing. Go do it and get yours, like Like this is the sign like from above saying, "Go get yours."